Yeah, I think this was willfully misinterpreted.
Yeah,
to say the least.
She's absolutely right when she talks about like identity politics being a mechanism to shield America's like gross and violent actions. She's completely correct. Wait, what?
I love Vazia.
Breaking pro-Palestine protesters storming the Democratic after party. Event following Kamala Harris campaign. Smokes bombs set up at the outdoor restaurant. Mass arrest. What the fuck? Oh, hell. I mean, protests managed to crash today's fundraiser after party for Kamala. The Democrats who attended were residing, refusing to let them ignore the protesters' demands for an arms embargo to Israel. Police immediately called in to arrest several protesters. Hey, man, you got to do what you got to do. You got to do what you got to do, man. You got to do what you got to do. Hey, it would be really interesting if... be really interesting if you know, Trump got to put forward how he's the peace guy in Israel Palestine. Once again, I'm reiterating my statement. Democrats have nothing to lose and only stand to gain from packing this shit up. That's all I'm saying. How effective are protests like this? Brother, if you can't protest like this, how else are you supposed to protest? This is, in my opinion, I don't give a fuck if this kind of shit like negatively polarizes those in positions of power against like pro-Palestinian protesters. Like, asking kindly never works, okay? It's about a consistent pressure campaign where you ceaselessly and endlessly remind people that at the top of the hour there's a 3-minute ad break. And if you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe. The point of protests like this is to cause discomfort, force the issue. Yeah, like the reality of the matter is this type of shit also is like significantly, like even from the worst person's point of view, like, you know, I'm talking about the type of dude who's like, why would you stop the roads? Like, oh, you're going to stop ambulances from crossing the road or whatever. Like, okay, fine. You know, I agree with that form of protest as well. I agree with all forms of protest in this situation because it's like, obviously the situation is untenable, is unmanageable. It's indefensible. Having said that, however, this I think is also the type of protest of like, you know, even a fucking Asmongold type of person who would be like, oh, my day is ruined, would probably understand, because who the fuck are you supposed to protest at that point? Like, what are you supposed to do? Just like not protest? I think ultimately that's what it is. The people that would get mad at this would be like, you know, don't protest. Yeah, cops are going to crack many student heads and it will be on every news outlet in 1 month. This is not going to fucking go away. And it shouldn't go away. It's a good thing that they're protesting. Protesters inside the DNC fundraiser event are disrupting Mayor Adams and other politicians tonight, calling for justice in Palestine and demanding Kamala Harris and the Democrats end their complicity in this ongoing genocide. The noise protest outside is continuing across the street. The pro-Palestinian protests have started. They were inside a DNC fundraiser, disrupting Mayor Adams and other politicians, calling for justice in Palestine. And then apparently they also managed to crash today's fundraiser after party for Kamala. The Democrats attended, attended were residing, refusing to let them ignore the protesters' demands for an arms embargo to Israel. Police immediately were called in and arrested several people. Yeah, be on the lookout tomorrow from fucking Joe Scarborough and like all of the liberal outlets being like, it's unacceptable. Why are you guys doing this?
Did you see what Malcolm Nance said?
Oh my God.
I love Malcolm Nance.
Oh my God.
He's
no,
so
I don't want to have
funny.
a fucking aneurysm. Let me guess, okay?
You will not guess. It's too insane for anyone.
Really?
I would be concerned for anyone if they guessed.
I thought he was going to be like, This is why I went to Ukraine, you McFucksticks. You McFucksticks don't understand. I went to Ukraine to crack skulls, and now I can't wait to come back. Now I can't wait to come back to New York and crack some pro-Palestinian jihadi skulls too.
It's weirder than that.
Okay, I tried to be as weird as possible. Let's see what he said.
Okay, so he posts a lot. That's the problem. I would go to his media grid and find the post with the folding chair for an image. Yeah, there.
Oh my God.
This is the.
Okay, I wasn't that far off.
But I feel like the headline here is, again, he is saying this. I'm not. I want to make it very clear. I'm not saying this, nor is anyone I know saying this. He is saying that African Americans have a racial buff to folding chair attacks.
No, it's
I
because
do not believe that.
No, that's from the fucking Montgomery brawl, dude. That's why it's an old ass fucking meme. We're not an old ass meme, but like old now. Remember when there was like a fucking group of like white racist dudes who were drunk as fuck in Montgomery that were boating?
Remember this.
Okay, so this was like big for like. God.
I thought he would. Well, he said
my brain is so rotted. I know everything he like
said,
this.
We have a certain peculiar set of skills. He's trying to do the taken thing, and so when he posted the folding chair, I thought you should not say that any race is better at using folding chairs as a weapon than any other one.
Yeah, terrorists and Hamas supporters of Free Palestine groups think they're going to disrupt the DNC. Well, it will be the largest assembly of African Americans since 2008. We have a rather peculiar set of skills. Like. He's saying that, first of all, when I saw the folding chair, immediately I thought, is this like a Evangelion reference? I was like, what is he trying to say? But then I very quickly understood it's a Boondocks reference. I thought it was the Montgomery boat fight. Was it not? When the brawl.
How does Malcolm Nance...
was it on the Boondocks? It could have been I thought it was the Montgomery boat fight. Yeah.
I never saw this.
Oh, this was huge on Twitter. This like blew the fuck up.
I've never seen this.
Yeah, it's 3 black men and women escalating. Wait, what? The video shows black men and women escalating a fight. Wait, what? Okay, this is a racist ass interpretation of the events that unfolded.
So I'm assuming...
No, a bunch of drunk white boys came off a boat and started beating the shit out of a black security guard who was telling them like, you have to move your fucking boat because a much larger boat is trying to park here, and ultimately they just got their ass. Yeah, didn't someone use a chair in this fight or no? Am I wrong? Yeah, ultimately they rushed to his defense and beat the fucking dog shit out of the racist losers.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's a great story. This guy is needlessly making racist revisionist history here. But I think it's the still
don't even work, man. I had my fingers crossed. You owe me money, man. Give me my money back. I want my money now. Give me my damn money.
Yeah, it's just like when someone uses a chair, like fights break out or whatever. Anyway, regardless, he's trying to do a meme, okay? He's trying to do a meme and he's trying to say like, yeah, black people have a peculiar set of skills.
I don't think anyone should say that. I think, I don't like playing the hypothetical game.
Black people famously love defending Israel. That's what it is. That's like,
there's so many like, I really don't think this is like widespread. This is just like a few cynical people. But I've seen some like some funny like white
watermelon people accounts, like the people talking about like on Twitter being like, oh, those watermelon people, I've been telling you all about it.
Yeah. Or I said like a bunch of like white people who are like, I've been sitting my white ass down and watching black creators tear into these Palestine people.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, no, I don't.
Yeah,
I don't think everything is like a 3-letter agency operation. I think it just as easily, this could just be like, people are fucking cynical.
Or they're getting, I think people might be getting paid a little bit.
Yeah, no, I think
a little bit of money.
I think it could very well be like some weird pro-Israel group could like be paying influencers. Who fucking knows? That's certainly happened before. Who knows? But I saw a lot of funny posts about it. From
there were a lot of people who are like riding the Kamala momentum to be like, oh, these guys are spoilers, like these pro-Palestinian demonstrators are spoilers, and it's like, yeah, no,
like you.
I think it is AstroTurf.
Yeah, and even that is like, you guys are pot committed to like the single entity that could like try and fucking lose this for Kamala. Like,
Not gonna lie, a lot of black people don't care about Palestine. There was a post of someone saying that black people are participating in the imperial actions. Yeah, that's ridiculous. Okay, that's fucking bullshit. That is inherently, you know what that's like? That's like when people go, black men have a real homophobia problem in the community. It's like, bro, have you seen every other American race and group? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? What about white people? Like, no, you're just casting an additional fucking lens on black people to be like, oh, they're somehow different than everybody else. And even then it's the opposite. So you're fucking ridiculous and wrong.
I don't know what post that's talking about. But you know, Americans of all types, you know, can participate in imperialism. That's the great thing about the military.
Yeah, but also it's not even that. Like, it's ridiculous to say that. Like, I think the average black person is probably a little bit more tuned into fucking systems of oppression, even if they're not like speaking with, even if they're not communicating on terms such as like intersectionality or whatever. They just like, they recognize it from their own personal fucking everyday existence. Like, it's ridiculous.
Right. Like singling them out like that. Yeah.
I do hate that though. I do fucking hate that singling. The pro-Palestine protest was lost and will never again regain my respect once they ran up in Mother Emanuel AME in Charleston. There isn't a nasty tweet TikTok of them screaming or a black person apologizing for their anti-blackness. They could push me further away at this point. Wait, what? What? Wasn't that like with Biden?
Yeah, that was literally with Biden.
That was
like
with Biden.
Months and months ago.
Yeah, this person is broken, dude. What are you talking about? Dude, look, there are a lot of liberal careerists in every part of American media. Okay, it's ridiculous. Yeah, if there was also a pro-Palestine protest in Mother Emanuel AME in Charleston, it was probably most likely organized by black people too. And then he follows this on by going, I can't think of even one time black folks demonstrated inside an American mosque, Christian, Muslim, or otherwise, no matter what. Like, what are they going to demonstrate inside of a mosque against? Like, for 9/11? Like,
what? Yeah. What the fuck? What?
Yeah.
I like how it's like he's like doing protocol shit, but about like Muslims.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, but if we protested in your mosque where you control America from, it would be a problem.
He called Mark Lamont Hill a Russian accent. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So
that's all you need to know.
Yeah.
Okay. Listen, don't come after Mark. Okay. Well, I will always defend him.
They will never run out of money to pay people for acting disgusting. That will never happen. You will always see this, unfortunately.
Yeah, do they know Muslims can also be black? Yeah, in America too. Like, that's
especially in America.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah.
A leak call from the ADL showed that they were terrified of TikTok. 2 months later, Congress voted to ban TikTok. AIPAC admitted that black and Palestinian solidarity was hurting their cause. 2 months later, a bunch of newer accounts are sowing discord between both communities. They're not, because this is Twitter. Nobody gives a shit about this, okay? Nobody gives a shit about this until there is like an ABC News special on it.
Right.
But right now, it's just on Twitter. You can't do like, back in the day when a lot of people were actually on Twitter or whatever, when a lot more journalists were on Twitter, maybe then you could actually move the needle in some direction. But you cannot know what's happening bad on TikTok. It doesn't matter. I don't think it's like, I mean, TikTok, I would believe that it's a more concerted effort and you could actually move the needle a little bit. But like Twitter itself, nah. It's Giga on TikTok. There's also a lot of opportunist liberals that will say this shit for self-promotion. The post people are yelling about said all Americans participate in imperialism and the libs are just trying to do CIA divide and conquer tactics to claim pro-Palestine is anti-black. It's on TikTok, Hasan. It's bad, not just Twitter. Okay, give me the fucking TikTok and I'll see it. Anyone that fucking turns around and goes, hey, this white supremacist empire with its fucking 800 military bases and its tentacles in every little thing that's going around, specifically in the third world, you know, where a lot of black and brown people happen to be the victims of said empire. You know who's actually mostly responsible for that? Black American descendants of slaves. That's an insane fucking thing to say. You are the most delusional person on the planet. There is no way I will ever take you seriously. Okay?
Well, what did this post actually say? Because I haven't seen it.
You'll agree with this take is one for one what you've said before. Was it disrespect the protest Biden speech at the Mother Emanuel AME Church in Charleston? Oh, it was. It was the Biden speech.
Yeah.
I think one of the most like cynical, one of the most grossest aspects of the Biden camp that they did this shit was when they would like weaponize black people as a shield.
Yeah, talk about fucking human shields.
Yeah, they literally would just be like, wow, it's really fucked up because a lot of black people love Biden. So you must be against black people. And I was like, I'm telling you, Kamala Harris is a black woman who should be the substitute to Biden. And motherfuckers would try to tell me that it's anti-black to usurp Biden.
I love the Democrat QAnon stuff they did where they went, by not stepping down, that's Joe Biden shielding Kamala.
Yeah.
Because I never understood that, how that was happening.
What is this? What started it?
I never thought I would be one of those people that comes crying on the internet, and if my English is not comprehensible, it's fine. It's not my first language. But this has to be said. I'm so sick. I'm so sick and tired of Americans playing your identity politics. I'm so sick of it. You were all able to comprehend pinkwashing. You were all able to comprehend how using one's identity in the name of fucking... You were all able to comprehend how pinkwashing is fucked up. That killing people in the name of something is fucked up. You were able to comprehend it when it came to queerness and pinkwashing, but you're not able to comprehend it when it comes to race. You're coming on the internet, telling Palestinians how they're playing oppression Olympics, how there's other genocides. We are very well aware. We're from the global south. We are aware to what's happening. I'm fucking half Iraqi and half Palestinian.
She's not saying anything wrong. What the fuck? Why are people mad about this? I don't understand.
You're aware of the oppression that's happening, and it's never because of us, it's because of you. It's fucking because of you. It's your government. It's the people that you keep voting, and it's your tax money. I've never been in the US, and I never fucking will be. Never fucking will be. You guys are fucking whack. You're insane. You're so beyond selfish. It's fucking insane. A black woman in fucking presidency is not gonna save us. And no, I'm not fucking saying vote Trump in. Fucking do something. Do something. I'm so sick and tired of this. Do something. It's your responsibility. What more do you need to see? What more images need to come out of Sudan, Congo, fucking Palestine, any of those countries? What do you need to fucking see to fucking start acting and realizing you're the fucking problem? You're the fucking problem. No one's policing you. No one's telling you not to fucking speak up. Speak up, but do not speak up when it comes to oppressing my people. I don't give a fuck anymore. I don't give a fuck anymore. It's fucking also white people. It's all of you. It's fucking all of you.
Earlier?
Every fucking race in fucking America has oppressed us. Black people also wear a uniform and get on a plane and come to our countries and kill us. You vote the same fucking melanated fucking people into government that sign papers to kill us. I don't want to hear it anymore. I don't want to hear it. You are our colonizers. I do not want to fucking hear it. I don't want to hear it. I'm done. I'm fucking done. We've watched our people die for fucking years. We're not the people that oppressed you. Instead of taking a second to think how fucking identity politics is so fucking toxic and is killing people, you're playing into the entire fucking agenda. Step by step, you're all fucking brainwashed. You're all fucking ridiculous and fucking pathetic. I'm so fucking done. Done. So fucking done. You're all the fucking same. All of you. Every single one of you. Every single fucking American is complicit. And I'm done. You're all fucking complicit. You're all complicit.
Yeah, I think this was willfully misinterpreted.
Yeah.
To say the least.
I saw people specifically to black women saying they're voting for Kamala, saying that they should take the Palestine flag out of their name or bio if they're voting for Kamala. Yeah, I don't really care about these fucking like, oh, you need to change your bio or whatever. None of that stuff moves the needle. Go out and fucking protest, okay? She's absolutely right when she talks about like identity politics being a mechanism to shield America's like gross and violent actions. She's completely correct.
Right, and she's not singling anyone out. She's saying that, like, yeah, that, like, nor is she saying that anyone is, like, more culpable than the other. Just that, like, you know, again, anyone in America can join the military or otherwise, like, commit these acts.
Yeah, I don't think this is like specifically singling out, like people are making it seem like this is specifically singling out black people.
It's really not.
Even one point that she made, this is actually a really important point. Not the fact that there are like black troops on deployment, because that's another consequence of like America exploiting underserved communities to consistently have like some function of a poverty draft. But this part where she talks about like how America puts black people into positions of power to specifically justify heinous acts. That part is absolutely correct, and it is deliberate. I mean, it's like it's the Colin Powell phenomena. Like it's the fact that like the UN ambassadors are black. Like you that is deliberate. That is 100% deliberate. Like that's on purpose. Like these are people playing the role of a shield.
Right. It's the same reason for Biden's like press secretary.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like a very cynical and very racist way in which, like, this doesn't mean that like black people don't deserve to be in that position at all. That's not what I'm saying. This is the other side of like, this is, however, the other side of like the way liberals also basically put forward like a shield of race to whitewash their actions. I don't like this take, brother. I mean, look, it's Cornel West who said black faces in high places will not be able to undermine white supremacy. This is a white supremacist reinforcement, ultimately. That's what it is. Catalyst of a TikTok live argument? Yeah. At the college protest you went to, they sent out a black faculty leader to talk to the students. Yeah, that was UCLA. Liberals love doing this shit. But ultimately, if the take is making you uncomfortable, then maybe it should. No, I mean, I don't know what part of it was like clipped, and obviously she's very emotional in this situation, and maybe not like thinking about it. But there was a massive anti-war movement during the civil rights movement as well. So you know, it's not like a lot of people personally recognize that that's a form of oppression that exists domestically, and also that the rest of the world is subjected to on a regular basis.
Right. Yeah. No. And just, you know, anecdotally, again, like I'm sure there's a ton of like horribly cynical shit on TikTok, but
she only called out black people. You can't say she's right. No, she didn't. She said every American is responsible, and that even includes black Americans, which is like the only part of it that is the only part of this conversation that's like a little bit emotionally charged to a degree where it understandably makes people uncomfortable, because you live in the United States of America and you understand systemic forms of oppression that churn out these results. But that's it. They saw it was ineffective to call anti-Palestine anti-Semitism. Now they're calling it anti-black. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, 100%.
That's fucking ridiculous, dude. The bit where she talked about black people serving in the military being our colonizers was the bit that was clipped and blew up on Twitter. Came across a bit unhinged due to her yelling and crying. Her overall point is much more coherent. Yeah.
Right. People willfully like misinterpreted it to make it sound like it was directed that way.
This is relatively small in the TikTok thing. There was an argument between an account called Lean and an account called Back That Thing Up, which a lot of the comment was centered about, right? They were talking about Congo. Yeah, I think it's a cynical way it's a cynical way to basically shut this argument down. She's ultimately not wrong. Yes, black people who are abused and oppressed domestically are also then, as a byproduct of that oppression, are sent to the fucking front lines to do the bidding of white supremacists. This is 100% the case. I think like that's not wrong. That is absolutely the case. I think she's responding to a TikTok of a black liberal saying he's voting for Kamala because Biden was helping with the Congo, lol, and has said that it's been ongoing for more years than Palestine and was downplaying Gaza. Jesus Christ. Do you think this discourse is a psyop? No, I think people are, I don't think it's a psyop, dude. I think people just like, I think people run with whatever the fuck they want to. A lot of people, especially if they're directly victims of this kind of action, will not be using the appropriate terms and the care and consideration, especially if they're not super geared on like, super clued in on like Western, like there's different kinds of bigotry in the West.
Right. Especially if like if you didn't grow up in America, English is your second language or maybe even third, you know, and after seeing like horrific images that no one should see, possibly, you know, your family reduced to mounds of flesh, charred into the earth, you know, maybe the exact term will not be perfect.
This girl's video is a minuscule part of this. I would watch more before saying much. K-Harvers have definitely started directing this unhinged K-Harv energy towards pro-Palestine protesters and activists, and it's ugly. There's no better way to gum up the works for there's no better way to gum up the works of like broad popular momentum, especially amongst young people, than by causing division. This is what I said about the Josh Shapiro pick as well. For my own personal reasoning for Josh Shapiro was not that he was like, you know, over the top Zionist or whatever. I don't think he was like any more Zionist than the average fucking average Democrat is, right? Maybe with a little bit more of a personal connection, you know, the volunteering for the IDF or whatever. But when he was in high school, but like beyond that, every Democrat is just as unconditionally supportive of Israel's existence as an apartheid state. For me, it was more so about my red line was the school voucher program, which is, you know, an immediate way to say fuck you to the teachers unions, and shows your willingness to like destroy what remains of the public school system. But beyond that, I also caution the Democrats that Josh Shapiro as a pick for VP would constantly create an endless cycle of back and forth between Democrats and their base of support, especially ones that would like normally be the door knockers, be the organizers, because they would constantly run to the center and keep saying, oh, our base is just like anti-Semitic, that's why they're not voting for us.
Right. I mean,
which would be ironic because those are like all the fucking Bernie coalition.
I had like, you know, my input on this was not and is not important because I'm not voting for the ticket. And I don't imagine there was any realistic VP pick that could change that for me. But as someone interested in like horse race politics who has been following it forever, I think Shapiro as a VP pick, like he went a little bit above and beyond, you know, using anti-BDS laws to go after fucking Ben and Jerry's. That puts him a little bit more in that camp.
Oh yeah, true. I forgot about that.
Average Democrat. But I really think his main weakness as a VP.
We also called the fucking pro-Palestine KKK.
And people try to justify that by saying, oh, he was saying, wouldn't it be bad if they also broke the rules? And it's like, fucking come
on. No, that's ridiculous.
It sounds like how like conservatives talk about how Trump's remarks after Charlottesville. It's the exact same thing. But Shapiro, his biggest weakness, I thought, was unk crimes. He committed those crimes for his I
like that we both have our own pet project that we were more offended by. Well, yours was on crimes. Valid.
Vouchers, I think, also bad for sure. But like that thing where like this donor, this guy that he was childhood friends with, his nephew, he found his fiance dead, stabbed in the back of the head multiple times. The first guy he calls is Unk.
Suicide.
Unk. He calls Unk, Josh Shapiro's friend. Unk comes over. He takes all electronic devices, takes all that out. Then they call the cops. The medical examiner says she killed herself by stabbing herself in the back of the head multiple fucking times. And it's a really fucked up story. The woman's family has like, I think it made it to the Pennsylvania State Supreme Court that they're going to like reopen the ME's report to, not categorize it as suicide, hopefully. But that was a massive fucking, like, again, morally, I think obviously disqualifying, but just even if like they find out that he did nothing wrong, that he was just incompetent and legitimately thought this was suicide, do you want like every time your VP picks names, his VP, his name comes up, that you see a graphic of a woman being stabbed in the back of the head multiple times?
Yeah.
Connected to him. Do you want that for your VP pick? No one wants that. And
yeah,
that
would have not been great.
Yeah, and he probably guarantees Pennsylvania, and that's I get that as a calculation, but I just thought, from my perspective, someone who enjoys horse race politics, for the sake of picking winners and losers, I thought ultimately he would be taking away way more than he would add.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately it's also the unique dynamic. Not the Josh Shapiro thing, but going back to the other quote unquote drama or whatever. But like, at least in my experience, like I went to a bunch of Palestinian protests. Like we've been covering this for quite a bit. Like those are not like even remotely the fucking DSA white caucus crowds that you would see.
No,
those were some of the most diverse fucking crowds of young students from every different fucking background. So like, I don't think that there's any love lost or any kind of like lack of solidarity. So this is probably marginal.
Yeah.
People are just like very desperate. As like the conditions in Gaza worsen, people will become more and more desperate to like grab onto any little thing they can. And this is what the new thing is for a brief moment. It's probably nothing.
And like, to anyone who is disheartened by this, I would have to say that like out in the world, and again, this is anecdotal, of course, but people are much more attuned to the connection between imperialism abroad and the excesses of the empire and the empire's proxies, how that connects to oppression at home. They're way more attuned to that than you may think. They have a way better handle on a lot of this than a lot of people may think. And, look, going all the way back to October of last year, I thought, okay, this is the most successful attack on Israel, like, in my fucking lifetime. Maybe this will make things harder for the anti-war, for the anti-Zionist side in America, right? That was a lot of people's guess. I think some of the guesses people make where they were like, this is the end of the fucking organized left in America, those were stupid at the time, and they were proven...
Will Stansel.
Yeah, those were, proven dumber as time went on. But, my interpretation of October 7th was their strategy is that they're not going to wait on whatever yield that broad sympathy in America could create. And I think that was a fair calculation to make. What ended up happening is that this is the broadest, most diverse, and fastest growing that I've ever seen the anti-Zionist movement ever in America.
Yeah.
I did not expect that at all. And I think that really caught people flat-footed. It was a beyond pleasant surprise. And people will, whether it's because they are cynical or whether it is because they are getting paid, will try to undermine that and try to trick people into increasingly minute factions over essentially just very cynical machinations. And it's easy to fall for that, but you also just have to keep in mind what we have now is it was inconceivable even 3 years ago. And it is absolutely terrified them.
Yeah.
And just don't lose sight of that. And don't lose sight of your fellow people who know better.
Yeah. It's silly shit. It's whatever. Yeah. It's like, I mean, I had a conversation with Mark Lamont Hill about this a while back. If you guys want to go check that out on his show, but like, this is something I've said quite a bit. I mean, this is not like oppression Olympics or whatever, but like the conditions that Palestinians are subjected to in Gaza and the conditions that Palestinians are subjected to in the West Bank are like far worse. Like, and I say this as someone who consistently has talked about, obviously white supremacy and how it plays such a significant damaging role in American societal development, how it plays a massive role in and reinforces its early goals of enslaving black people, specifically through, I guess, like the criminal justice system and enslaving black people still and brown people still through the criminal justice system by way of legalizing that same process. And all of that is obviously unconscionable. The thing is, in terms of like what's going on in Gaza, I mean, I've said this a long time ago and I've reiterated a bunch of times, like conditions in the Jim Crow South would be a genuine improvement to the conditions in Gaza right now. And I don't think that there is like, I don't think that that's a controversial thing to say. People might get mad at me for saying that right now. This is something that I talked to Mark Lamont Hill about as well. And like, it's just objectively the truth. It's ridiculous. We're talking about a fucking genocide. You know what I mean? People might not want to hear that. People might want to feel like that's, not the case or whatever, but it's like, it's hell. It's hell on earth. It's like mechanized death. They can take it up with Ta-Nehisi Coates. Exactly. Ta-Nehisi Coates, who himself is had a change of heart after visiting the West Bank. And this is before like the latest incursion in Gaza. So, I don't know what else to say about it beyond that. Those are, and it's not like this doesn't mean that, segregation was a comprehensible, permissible thing. It was not. It is utterly immoral, gross. It is a system of apartheid. And that would still be a more preferable circumstance for many people right now in Gaza.
Gaza, as it is now, is, the only thing that I could compare it to in like our collective cultural memory is just very broadly the Eastern Front under the advancing Wehrmacht.
Yeah. Dude, it's like the Tulsa massacres, right?
Yeah.
Bombing of Black Wall Street. Like, think about that. It's like a gross chapter of American history with a litany of different kinds of like comparable forms of violence against black people, specifically deliberately. That's happening literally every day, like all the time. It's crazy, with much better weapons, right? Like with much better weapons. Like all of our technological prowess is going to specifically melting Palestinian people in entire city blocks. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, like the amount of, as doctors have said, they've never seen this many children with sniper rounds in their bodies. Children deliberately shot with sniper rifles. the most accurate air-to-ground munitions ever created. The CEP for like a small diameter bomb is 1 fucking meter. 1 fucking meter. I think that's like what? Like what? Even 1/5 of like a larger JDAM's CEP. Deliberately and repeatedly aimed at families, at grandmothers, at little kids, at schools. Like beyond a shadow of the doubt, just a racial annihilation campaign.
And another like oftentimes overlooked aspect of this is that it could literally end with 1 phone call. That's what's so fucking frustrating about this. Like, it could end with 1 singular phone call. No more weapons transfers until you get to the fucking table and you cut the shit out. It's happened before. It's literally happened before throughout American history. Ronald Reagan, Joe Biden himself had a similar moment in 2021. That's what's wild about it, is that it could not happen without our undying loyalty and commitment and financial support. Yeah, I just don't know a single American person, black, white, doesn't matter what their background is, that if you were to ask them, would you rather give $18 billion to Israel every 2 months so they can kill random children and women, or fix your fucking potholes and like fund your schools? I don't know a single American that would say, "No, I want permanent genocide." Actually,
do you want the SS training your police?
Yeah.
Do you want everyone from the fucking dog catcher to the senator from your state vetted by the political arm, the international political lobbying arm?
The lieutenant governor is what he's talking about. Like, oh my God, that shit was so crazy.
Yeah. Do you want them vetting every candidate you vote for, training your police? How many weapons are enough? How many weapons are you willing to give them at cost for nothing, even? So that this can go on forever, so that they never have to truly face the consequences of the world that they have created around themselves. Yeah, and that we have to.
That's the other aspect of it. Like all the Black Lives Matter protests, we're talking about the disproportionate targeting of black people by police. Like post 9/11, IDF has trained every single fucking police department in this country. You know what I mean? Like kettling, corralling as a strategy that actual Black Lives Matter protesters experienced was like common practice from the IDF, counterterrorism practices that they taught to American police precincts all the way from New York City, which also happens to have a division in Tel Aviv, down to like Terre Haute, Indiana. You know what I mean? It's not like this was like it's not like this is only in the big cities or whatever. This is like across the board. That shit's crazy. So it does actually reinforce white supremacy in America as well, because it's simply white supremacy already in the form of our foreign policy upon the global South.
I think a lot of the stuff you see of people just, acting cynically, whether it is like, Isaac Edward Devore saying that Shapiro was like singled out, or whether it is whatever influencer anywhere trying to sow division, anything, any type of like just broad cynicism you see of this that is like a misdirection in nature. It is trying to get you to think about anything, something else other than the direct angle of this. That is someone who is fully aware that all of this is a stain on all of us. It is a stain, a mark on every American. It is them trying not to think about that. And they're trying to convince themselves as much as they are trying to convince you.
Yeah. All right. That'll be all for today, folks. Thank you, Felix Biederman of Chabo Trap House.
My pleasure.
Yeah. Instead of funding Israel, we could have gotten Felix a F-22 or an F-15.
I wouldn't even ask for like an expensive F-22. I would have like an F-16, even a really cheap one, like the J-39C Gripen. That is a steal at half the price.
Yeah. Don't be duped by this dumb shit. Okay. Don't let people break your solidarity. It's just like record behavior. Who gives a fuck? I mean, it's silly nonsense. I hate entertaining stuff like this. It's just like I despise this so much. It's so fucking annoying. But yeah. Anything you want to plug?
Well, we have new merch out at chapotraphouse.com.
Hell yeah.
Store or merch. I forget which one. Try both. Try them all. Maybe I'm right. I can't plug the show. Sold out.
Damn,
but
flex.
Really, we should have gotten a bigger venue, but we didn't even think to do this till too late.
And that's before I announced that I'm going to be on it. I'm going to do something.
We'll be on it. So if all the people who bought tickets, if they die and we have to sell new ones, check it out. And Chapo Trap House on Patreon, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, and twitch.tv/Chapo Trap House.
All right. Bye, everybody. Peace.